Hey, what's going on, everyone out there in YouTube land? So we're going to do a live vooping session. I'm going to show you guys how to properly voop. Now, I just woke up. I'm kind of like, alright. But I'm going to show you guys how to properly do a voop, alright? You got to do it the right way or just don't do it at all. Now, for starters, what you want to do is you want to have something playing in the background so that way if anyone's home, you know, they don't hear any like splashbacks or flushes or anything like that. I got ST's show playing in the background, watching the replay.
Somebody told me that.
Also, it's good
one of the local shops for $600
to get your last cup of coffee for the day. This will really get your colon going, right? What you want to do is a nice big gulp of coffee, a nice big gulp of coffee, and that'll really get things moving on the inside. Ah, there we go. All right, so if you don't already have your vaping supplies in the bathroom, I suggest that you do that first because you never know after that big gulp of coffee. Why do I keep saying coffee? All right, so we're in the bathroom now. All right, we're actually on the toilet. And if you guys don't believe me, I'll give you a little preview. Ooh, oh. So things are flowing out normally. Got my mod DX200, vaping at around 100 watts on the double vision RDA. Gonna have a vape. I'm vaping some donut pounder in here. Now the donut pounder mixed with the stench of the bathroom at the moment, kind of actually it goes pretty well together. Donuts and poo actually are not a bad combination. Now always remember that courtesy flush. You want to get that first one down. Hopefully in the middle of that flush, nothing else comes out because that will dirty up the walls of your toilet. Let's have another vape as we push a little bit. You always want to give a little push, you know, get things going. Sometimes, you know, the tail end of things, there's something, you know, left behind that you kind of want to get out of there. Now the tricky part to this is always figuring out what do you do when you have to wipe. Do you put your mod down? Do you hold your mod in one hand while you wipe with the other? Do you wipe with your mod hand? What do you do? What I suggest is putting your mod on the sink or wherever furthest away from the toilet. That way, when you do flush, we don't have any contaminants coming in contact with your atomizer. Also, I strongly suggest do not use a dripper in RDA while you're vooping because trying to drip, vape, and voop, virtually impossible and probably not very sanitary. I would strongly suggest a sub-ohm tank or just any tank in general or an RTA, but for this instance right here, the dripper, not ideal. Not really the best way to voop. Okay, so now everything's out, I'm cleaned out, now we have to think about how we're going to wipe. Now there's two ways you can go about wiping. You can wipe while sitting down, or you could stand up and wipe. Now, back in the day, I was a huge fan of standing up and wiping. I mean, it just seemed like, you know, the right thing to do. But I think as the older you get, you become more comfortable with sitting and wiping. Plus you get better coverage. It's just, I don't know, sitting and wiping is just so much easier. Now, it's how can I put this? It's something you have to really master at. You just can't sit down one day, start wiping, and instantaneously just, you know how to do it. It's something you need practice at, and you're not going to get it the first time. It may take you a week, may take you a month, but over a period of time, sitting down and wiping is really, you're going to benefit a lot more than from standing up and wiping. So now the problem that we have is how are we going to wipe and voop and hold the camera? Hopefully you guys ain't holding the camera. So this is actually a really big challenge for me. Now I don't have a tripod in my bathroom. I know a lot of normal people have tripods in their bathroom, but I don't for some reason. And so we're going to figure out how to do this, how to wipe while sitting down. So now during the wiping process, I strongly suggest against vaping because you never know what can happen. A piece of toilet paper can rip. You can get God knows what on your hands. So I suggest hold off on the vaping until you're done wiping and you're done washing your hands. For this instance, a little bit of a messy morning, so I might go through some toilet paper. And I do have a toilet paper holder next to me installed, and I do keep a roll of toilet paper, on it for display purposes. But I much prefer my toilet paper roll to be loose. I don't know why. It's just something I started really, really enjoying. Now, of course, we have many different techniques when it comes to wiping. You could bunch it up. You could fold it up like I do here. Another technique that I like to use, since I have a sink right next to me, add a little water to your paper. Moisten it up, and you'll get nice coverage, first of all, because you have a nice flat piece. Also, that water will add a little bit of moisture, and it will really, really clean things up beautifully. Now, depending on the day, depending on the Voop, depends on how much toilet paper you're going to use. What did you eat those past couple days? Did you have salads? Did you have healthy foods? Did you have a nice clean Voop? Or were you pigging out on Taco Bell and pizza and whatnot? Did you have a real sloppy Voop that's going to require a lot of toilet paper? For this instance, I might go through kind of in the middle. All right, so we're going to do a few wipes, and then after that, we're going to do a hand check. And the hand check will let us know how much more wiping do we have to do. There it is right there, perfect flush. Now, one tip if you want to avoid any kind of contamination with the fumes in the air and your atomizer is you got to make sure your butt cheeks, everything, when you're sitting on the toilet seat, you form a nice tight seal around the toilet seat and no air can escape from the toilet seat. If you have a really small ass or no ass and we have gaps in the toilet seat, air can escape, which will cause, contaminants or whatnot to come out from the toilet, leak up into the air, and, maybe down into your atomizer. So if you're really health conscious, Vooping may not be for you. But since I'm comfortable with myself, with my body, with what comes out of my body, it's not a big problem. Plus, I have a really big ass, so I can cover the entire toilet seat. I can form that seal, that safety seal, and that prevents, any kind of contaminants shooting up in the air. All right, so now that we're done with everything, we got everything out, we wiped, we're clear, we're good to go. Most important step, we have to wash our hands. Now, depending on where you placed your mod before you started wiping, depends if you're going to move your mod or not. Because when you're done wiping, you want to wash your hands first before you grab your mod. If you move your mod and grab your mod before you wash your hands, contamination once again here, guys. So make sure, very important, that when you're sitting down, right before you're ready to wipe, you place your mod in a secure location. Now, luckily for me, I placed my mod at the very end of the sink, so I don't have to worry about water touching it. I don't have to touch it until my hands are clean. So what we're going to do right now, I prefer the old, good old-fashioned gold dial soap. Something about it, I don't know, just like it, always loved it. We're going to use this, we're going to wash up, and we'll be right back. All right, so hands are washed, nice and clean, just perfectly clean. Now, you want to make sure you really wash your hands good, because Vooping and then going back and, say, building a coil or working with cotton with dirty hands results in some really nasty, outcomes. So now I can safely grab my mod. I can finish off my session with a vape. Hopefully you don't have a smoke alarm or smoke detector in your bathroom, because if you do, chances are you're going to set it off. And that's pretty much it, guys. That is how you properly Voop. Safe, cleanest way to properly Voop. I'm open to comments, suggestions. If you guys have any other tips or pointers you'd like to share when it comes to Vooping, please feel free to comment below. Talk to everyone soon. Build safe and vape on.